This is the scene we're going to do today. This one is called Autumn in the Woods. And so let's begin. Okay, I'm going to start by stamping these birch trees. I've got my paper in a stamping platform and I have offset it a bit. I'm going to use some Marvy inks. This is number 18 dark brown. Okay, next I'll use some number 5 yellow. Again, this is Marvy. And next I'll do number 16 pale orange. And some 96 jungle green. Okay, next I'm going to put a mask on this tree right here. I just cut a quick mask out of paper. And then I'm going to stamp this boardwalk, and I'll use some dark brown. Okay, next I put it back in my platform. I'm going to mask off the boardwalk here, and I've put my birch trees back, and this time I've got the paper in the corner. So I'll start by inking up the trunks with the dark brown. Next I'll stamp yellow. Next I'll do pale orange, and then the jungle green. Okay, next I'm going to take this leafy branch. I'm going to use my Tombow marker 969, and I am just going to ink up the trunky part of this. Okay, now I'm just going to ink up the leafy portions, and I'm going to start with my number 5 yellow. Okay, and I'm going to wait for this yellow ink to dry before I put my next color on, and we'll be back. Okay, now I'll use some number 16 pale orange. Okay, and now I'll wait for the orange to dry, and we'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to use a Tombow marker number 837, and I'll just use the tip of the marker to ink up the leaves. Okay, and I'm going to use the sedge filler stamp and my 96 jungle green. Okay, I've wadded up a clean paper towel. I'm going to use my number 5 yellow. I'm just going to dab it on here, and I'm going to just dab on the ground here to add some yellow color. Now I'll go with some of the pale orange, number 16. I'll also take some of this and dab it up into the leaves area up here. And I'm going to take some of my salvia blue. This is again a Marvy. And I will use a clean piece of this and just kind of dab it on to add just a touch of blue to the sky. And I'll also take the 96 jungle green, and I'm going to add some shadows underneath the trees. Okay, now I'm going to take the dark brown, number 18. Again, this is Marvy. And I'm going to add some shadows to this boardwalk. Okay, next I'm going to use some Hero Arts Unicorn White pigment ink, and I'm just going to create a little mask here. so that I can put in some sun rays. Okay, now I'm going to use my white gel pen to just add some dot highlights. Okay, I'm going to use my Zeyar paint markers and make sure it's primed. Then I will just add some dots. Okay, now I'll add some orange. Okay, and now I'll add just a little bit of red, not much. Okay, now I'm going to give these Zeyar paint markers a chance to dry, and we'll be back. Okay, and I think I'm going to want to stamp this deer silhouette on it. And since I've got quite a bit of ink on here, I'm going to use my Versafine Onyx Black. Okay, and I'm going to use my Fantastics applicator, and I'm going to add some more Hero Arts Unicorn White. Okay, I didn't realize I wasn't recording, but I just used my little masks here. And I used my Fantastics to put a heavier coat of pigment ink, the white pigment ink, and then I used a paper towel to kind of blot it down to soften it up a bit, just to get a little bit more rays into this area. Okay, now I'm going to give this a little bit more chance to dry, and we will be back. Okay, and I'm going to use the small reeds and my Versafine Onyx Black ink. Okay, and I'm going to give everything a chance to dry, and we'll be back. Okay, and while I wait for this to dry, I'm going to sign and date it. Okay, next I'm going to take some Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White, and I've put a little bit into this lid, and I've diluted it with some water. And I'm using a rather small paintbrush, and I'm just going to flick on some little dots this way. And I'll also pat the paintbrush to transfer some dots. Okay, and I'm going to let this dry now for a really long time before I spray it, and we'll be back. Alright, I've let this dry overnight, and so now I'm going to take it outside, and I'm going to spray it with some Krylon UV resistant clear acrylic coating, and then we'll be back. Okay, because there's a lot of pigment ink on here, this tends to be a little sticky even after it's dried, and so I'm going to also spray some Krylon Workable Fixative on top of this. Alright, and here's the final piece after it has been matted onto some white cardstock and some black cardstock. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!